always have to laugh at this. It shouldn't be this hard, but this is a test just to see if everything is working. And we've got the microphone hooked up right and all that kind of jazz. Just a test. Why, oh why can't I? Listen to Is, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We're supposed to be recording. God knows. I hope so. Because what we're doing, we've gone a little more tech. It's all for experimentation, all for science. Got a little more tech. We have the iPro 10 updated to version 1.16 after a bit of a darn stand. There goes my jacket. After a bit of a conundrum that they had. Put her in gear here. Whoop, one gear. Their first attempt to update their cameras, version 1.15, ended up in some cameras getting locked in a powering on loop. And obviously that left some very unhappy campers around the world. So I was lucky enough to have seen some reviews that people did talking about the 1.15 upgrade, and from those I ran away as fast as I possibly could. So we are version 1.16. The main thing about it, for those of you who care, is that the GoPro now has some integrated video settings that go into the details for you, and you pick an overall settings. So, for instance, right now I'm in cinematic 4K. I forget the frame rate, and these then are maximized for that setting and maximized to keep the heating and the battery life within reason. When I first started using the GoPro 10 in the garage, it would overheat and shut down. It made for very challenging work. So we're trying the GoPro 10. I've also got the Packtalk Bold Black on, the Shui X14 helmet, and the microphone and all this jazz, and I'm going to see how this lash up works. This is really an experiment to check about the audio quality and the video quality that I'm going to get, and the life and issues with the GoPro 10. So will this ever see the light of day? We don't know. But in any case, we are on Larry Lightning the Redoubtable 2021 Tuono factory 1100, and it is feeling very beautiful. It's an afternoon in November in the San Diego region, in Wistful Vistas. I'm going to let that turn self-cancel. Shut the mask down, and I want to see if I'm still overpowering the mic, if there's too much gain. I still have to set up my other frequently worn helmet for vlogging, and I'll get to that, get out and do that. But this ride was to check and go back and see if my old standards were going to come back to be my old standards, and that's the Shui X14 helmet. I hope the view ahead is good. It is very irritating that the preview feature on the GoPro shuts down as you are vlogging. When you turn on the videoing feature, the preview shuts down, and the rear screen is not really well viewable. I'm fogging up my helmet here. It's about 62, 63 degrees. It's really beautiful, really kind for the motor and yours truly to ride. But so you can't see the rear screen either because it's on a time lapse, because if you leave it on too long, then you overheat the helmet, yada yada yada. It all is kind of a big pain. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like GoPro, because I'm truly a really big GoPro fanboy. I do like GoPro, but there are things that are suboptimal, and I feel, being a fanboy, I'm entitled to call them out. Okay, mask is open. So we're going to see how my voice does and if we get the right amount of motorcycle in. The other thing is that the max lens mod is not enabled for the 10 yet. That will be an upcoming software change. There are a couple of developments on the horizon for GoPro. Number one is releasing, of course, that ability to use the max lens mod. Secondarily, there is an extended life battery coming, and that is supposed to dramatically increase the battery life of the GoPro, which has always been a bit of an issue. I tend to turn it on and just go riding away, and when I'm doing the garage vlogs, I tend to turn it on and just rattle around and do the stuff, and let things, and then later on in editing I cut it down and trim it out and all that kind of stuff. So but this extended life battery will be very nice, particularly when you get on a motorcycle and you want to do some long vlogs to give you some freedom. So those are the GoPro updates. That's what we're about. We are using this lash up and seeing if it's going to make the cut to be the standard for future usages. Shui X14, GoPro 10, Cardo Packtalk Bold, and yours truly on a 2021 Aprilia Tuono Larry Lightning. Thank you, viewers out there. Woohoo! Before. So the other thing to mention, and I want to call out particular attention to the Speedo-Angels protector that I put onto the LCD screen, sorry, TFT screen. I'm looking down now, I hope you can see it. It's working great. The mat that I use is particularly well suited to San Diego, I do believe. I cannot give you a comparison with the gloss unit. Here we are, down in the dark. Because I've never tried it in San Diego, so I really can't say about that. But I can say that the mat works really well. It did work well. No reason why it shouldn't. It worked really well on the 2017, so there is absolutely no reason why it shouldn't go good here too. But I question, like, some of the usability about it. Is it really going to protect your TFT screen? And I made light and said in a crash situation, and I referenced back to an old dirt bike crash that I had that damaged the instrument cluster. But in all fairness, that was pretty severe. It's not really it's not really apt, I'm going to put it, or apropos. So we are going to try and do a little bit of a filtering deal here. We're in neutral. So that Speedo-Angels approached me, which means they're out there, they're looking, they're concerned, and they're looking. And that's a good thing, I think. And they said, Mr. Cooper, thanks for the review and putting it in. We enjoyed watching that, and you did it right. Yes, sir. But be aware that there's another very necessary function the Speedo-Angels speedometer protector does, and that is that it, oh boy, what a I am out at the wrong time, right in the middle of all this traffic. Let me digress. Speedo-Angels contacted me and said, Mr. Cooper, you missed one of the more necessary functions of our Speedo-Angel TFT protector, and that is that it keeps you from scratching the new TFT and previous LCD, color LCD screens, LED screens, or whatever they were. And I hadn't truly considered that, and that would be quite true. It is another layer that goes on top, and it also modifies somewhat my comment about they're giving you two because you could mess up one installing the first one. That's not necessarily true 100% either, because that second one, these can be scratched as well if you try hard. So that second one will help you replace the first one should it become scratched. So Speedo-Angels, accept my apologies for being a little too flip, a little too I guess cavalier about the total usages and how they really make sense to use, because I am, once again, I am a convinced customer, have been for a long time. There's one on the one on my previous Tuono. There was one on my here we go. Oh boy. Love that V4. I hope some of that comes out through this. And I've used them in the past, but like GoPro, I feel like I know them and I'm part of the family. Bought my way in by using them, and I feel like, hey, if I see something that I think might be worthy of a comment, I'm going to make the comment. But they're absolutely correct. So it protects for scratches, plus perhaps some other types of damage. So Speedo-Angels, thanks for reaching out and informing me about that. And also, someone, I'll try and find their name, someone also wrote me a note and said, hey Gary, you're missing something. And this is another Speedo-Angels user, and he brought up the scratch issue also. So they do more, and they are quite good to use. Okay, let's move along.